You know, there's a very simple thing that you need to focus on if you want to make abnormal profits in stocks. And I'm going to show you what that is in this video and then tell you the second most important thing when trading the stocks that I'm going to highlight. I'll do my normal market analysis. There's been a little turmoil in the market around tariffs. We'll figure out if that has a risk of a stock market crash. And then finally, at the end of the video, I'll look at the trade of the week where we will emphasize the concept that I talk about at the top. All right, so let's get into that concept, and that is, how do you make abnormal profits in stocks? It's actually quite simple. If you want to make abnormal profits in stocks, you have to focus on abnormal stocks. And what does that mean? Almost every stock that makes market-beating returns, I'm talking about the big gains, whether it's a day trade that moves up 100% in a day or a longer-term trade that goes up 200% over 3 months, they all start the same. They start with abnormal trading activity. And by that I mean they trade with abnormal volume and abnormal price action. And it's really essential to understand this concept, because if you want to trade the hot stocks, you got to focus on the stocks that are hot. I know it sounds very obvious, but there's some caveats to that, and I'll show those in a chart in just a moment. So let's jump into the presentation here. As I said, the key to making abnormal profits in stocks is to focus on stocks making abnormal price moves and abnormal volume. And you want to focus on that first. And let's just jump to a chart and then we'll come back to this in a moment. So here's a stock that's done really well over the last couple of weeks, few weeks. It was just over $1 at the end of December, and today it's hitting almost $16. In fact, it hit $18 on Friday. That all started with abnormal activity. This price move here is statistically significant and abnormal. And the volume was statistically significant and abnormal. And then you had another break here, another abnormal price break with abnormal volume. Huge volume trading on this stock. So that's how it all starts. If we look at another example, this is now an intraday chart of a stock that made a big move this past week. You can see here on the 20th of January, nobody cares about this company. Nothing is happening, it's boring. And then it comes alive with abnormal price movement and abnormal volume. And along the way, there's pullbacks and there's patterns in here that we use for our entry signals. And it's not just a matter of buying a stock because it's abnormal. You have to also consider the reward for risk trade-off. And what I mean by that is, you would never want to buy this stock up here because it's way too far above its trend line. The ideal situation is either to buy the stock when it starts to move or buy pullback breaks. And I've got strategies that I teach. You can learn more about that at Stockscores.com. But let's go back to the lesson here, because the second thing that you want to always keep in mind is to throw out common sense. These stocks do not make these massive gains necessarily because their company is so much better. There's usually a catalyst, usually some news release or some event that ignites the buying frenzy, but the buyers will send the stock up more than it should go because of this feeding frenzy among buyers. It becomes an irrational exuberance type of situation. And that's what's critical to understand. The actions of investors on these hot stocks is not rational. And therefore, it's really important that you do not believe in the story. You do not believe in what's happening with the stock. Instead, you have to really pay attention to just the market action. Don't fall in love with the company. Don't believe what you read on the internet about how the stock has got the greatest and best future, because usually they don't. Sometimes they'll continue to go up, but typically these moves are relatively short-lived. We are trading the situation, not the stock. All right, let's get into this week's market analysis. As I said at the top of the video, there's been some turmoil in the market, so let's jump into Stockscores.com, my website. And as always, I just want to remind you that you can subscribe to my free weekly email newsletter right here. I pick stocks in that newsletter. I've got a pretty good record of picking some hot stocks in that weekly newsletter. It's free, so give that a look. All right, let's take a look at SPY to begin. And there you can see this turmoil that I talk about, and it shows up more so on an intraday chart. We had the big gap down in the market as the U.S. was, or Trump was, threatening tariffs against Europe. Then that went away when he said, well, won't do the tariffs, and you see the volatility in the market because of that. So if we look at the 3-year chart, we're still in an upward trend, but we should not ignore this concern, because if tariffs become real again, we could see this type of pullback. This was the first tariff talk after Trump took office. We had that pretty sharp sell-off. Now the market's starting to say maybe he just, threatens it but never follows through. And so we're not getting the same reaction. But if you actually get a follow-through on tariffs, then that could be a bigger issue for the S&P and the broader market. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ QQQ. And the NASDAQ has been sort of lagging the larger cap stocks, the S&P, and also the small cap stocks, which we'll look at in a moment. You can see here that the NASDAQ has been going sideways for 3 months while the S&P is moving to new highs. So this is not as strong a market, but it also outperformed the other markets through here as you had this big run. And so we're really just building a base for hopefully the next leg to the upside. So it's a good long-term hold, but short-term, it's more on the neutral side. Let's take a look now at the small caps. IWM is the symbol. And you can see there that they're outperforming the large caps. They've moved up quite sharply since the start of the year. A little bit of a down day on Friday, but we'll see if that holds. And generally, we're optimistic here. If you look at the 1 month chart, we have optimism. Look at the 3-year chart, we have optimism. Rising bottoms, and therefore a good time to be in this market. Speaking of good times to be in the market, let's take a look at the Canadian market, which has really been doing great, and largely because of precious metals, which we'll look at in a moment. But there you can see the strong upward trend in the Canadian market. If we start to break one of these trend lines, we need to be concerned, but that hasn't happened yet. It could happen any day, so you always want to dance close to the exit door, but keep an eye on the trend line. Now, speaking of crazy hot markets, here's gold. It had this parabolic market here. It broke the parabolic trend right there. That put it into a sideways trend for a couple of months and then broke out again. And we're going parabolic once again as perhaps global concerns about tariffs and political unrest, that is giving people cause to move into gold, and it's almost at $5,000 an ounce. In fact, it might actually be there as I speak. So very hot market, but anytime the trend goes parabolic, and what I mean by that is if I draw a line across the bottoms and that line is linear and then you're running away from that line, that's a parabolic trend. So if I show you here, we went running away, we pull back. We run away, we're due for a pullback. So I would be cautious chasing gold here simply because of that. We can take a look at silver as well. I know many of you are also bullish on silver, and there is a very strong chart, a good reason to be bullish. We had a breakout here. Here's your linear trend line. And again, you're running away from the trend line. So it's a very risky market. No reason to sell, but certainly you want to watch very closely for a sell signal, because when trends go parabolic, they usually fall apart eventually. Let's take a look at oil, USO, and a little bit of volatility with concerns around Iran maybe having a military attack from the US, and that's put a little bit of frothiness into the oil market. But generally speaking, if we look at this on a 3-year time frame, you'll see that it's really just sideways for the last 3 years. It hasn't gone anywhere. So we do have a little uptick here, breaking this downward trend line. That could lead to a little higher prices in oil. I do think many energy stocks are worth considering, and it's mostly because of valuations. People are moving into those markets. All right, let's move along to currencies now. UUP is the symbol for the US dollar, and you can see a pretty bad week for the US dollar. And so short term, it's gone from bullish to bearish just in 1 week. And if we look at Bitcoin, we see also a big reversal here. It was starting to stabilize, starting to look better. I had actually raised my short-term rating, but have to drop it again because we've had this little drop here in Bitcoin. So be cautious with that. Looking at the 3-year chart, if we start to move down through this floor here on GBTC, that could lead to lower prices. So be careful with Bitcoin right now. Finally, let's take a look at the TLT chart, and you can see there the big drop in the bond market on tariff talk and then the rebound since then. But we're still in this downward trend. Looking at the 3-year chart, we're pretty much neutral because we've been sideways for quite some time. But we need to break this cycle of falling tops. We need this market to move up through here before we can get too optimistic about bonds. So my ratings then, bullish on both time frames for US large cap, but only neutral on NASDAQ. Small cap, Canadian stocks, gold, all bullish. Oil, neutral on both time frames. US dollar, dropped my short-term rating to bearish, but long-term neutral. Bitcoin and bonds, neutral on both time frames. All right, now let's get into the trade of the week. And some of you may not be aware, but I run a service called Active Live, which has us monitoring the market for day trades using sophisticated algorithms all day long. Computers do most of the work. And one of the things we look for is abnormal activity. So I've written some algorithms that scan the entire market every second looking for abnormal trading activity. And when I see that, then we start to look for patterns. So this is an example of a stock that was abnormal right from the pre-market. So in this instance, I don't usually do this, but this stock was very active pre-market. This is actually 4 a.m. Eastern time. But once the stock is abnormal, it's not enough. We have to wait for the stock to build a good pattern. And you don't have to be too sophisticated with this, but when you get these pennant patterns, this is called a pennant. And a pennant is all about compressing volatility. So if I draw some lines like this, you can see that the volatility here is much less than over here. So we call that compressing volatility. And the reason that's important is because when you break from compressing volatility with abnormal activity, you often get the start of a new trend. And this is what I'm talking about when I say we want to focus on abnormal action. Notice the volume coming into the stock. Notice there's a pink and yellow dot here, so that's my algorithm firing, saying, okay, there's abnormal activity there. And abnormal activity only matters when it's breaking from the right pattern. So this abnormal activity over here, I'm not interested in because it's running away from its trend line already. Here is the start. And then there's a pullback, and you see a little blue dot there. That's a break of a pullback. That's another possible entry. So, in this stock, we had entries here, we had entries here, another one right there when it just broke from this compressing volatility. So lots of opportunity on this stock, and that's kind of the theme of the stock market right now. We've seen a real pickup in day trading action. Each day there's a few stocks that are making big gains again. It was a little slow in December, but we've seen that pick up. And if you focus on abnormal action first, you can do well. If you want to learn more about what I do, go to my website, stockscores.com. And as always, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, leave a comment, and trade well.